Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ghost of Sparta. And today we'll be trudging through even more of Atlantis as we head back all the way to the Domain of Death, where we were at the beginning of the game. I don't know if anyone remembers, but not long after we get to Atlantis we actually see the Domain of Death, or the entrance to it, which was unavailable at the time. But we've got more swimming available to us now, which isn't unusual since how we wrecked the place previously. But the swimming's actually not too bad at this point, because it's actually a nice little change of pace before the end of the game. Bearing in mind, I still believe there's at least 3 videos, I think, of the main game left. So again, it's not a very long game. I think it's about 1 hour longer than the Chains of Olympus. It's not really a lot for me to say at this point of the game, because there's not a whole lot going on until we get out of the swimming section. But I think it's only for a few more minutes. But it's just a pity there's not more puzzles and traps under the water, just like in God of War 1 with some of the time trap area rooms, which were quite fun. But as we get out the water here, there's still civilians left before they're murdered by Kratos. They're good for some red orbs and a bit of health.
I think I can reach it. Just a little more.
And unfortunately that man didn't do well enough. But he made an effort at least. But the whole look of the wrecked Atlantis does actually look pretty cool, with the running water and everything all over the place. And we're still getting loads of chests which aren't Minotaur Horn ones, which I know from a bit of experience, because actually before recording this commentary today I've managed to actually finish the game on hard mode and clear the rest of the trophies, and I was near the end on hard mode and there was still no Minotaur like horns right until there. But we get to fight one of these dudes again, and because we haven't seen them in a long time, they're actually they don't really pose much of a threat anymore. But as long as we take out the projectile throwers just to get them off our case, just makes them even easier. I'd use the Arms of Sparta on him, but even with the upgraded state you should still just keep your distance from him. And he can be executed now. So with his rock dropped on his head, we can carry on along before fighting more of these guys again, who again, they're not too terrible to fight, it's just when they knock you on the floor it can be annoying. But if we break up the Arms of Sparta, we can do some nice 3-hit combos, which do a hell of a lot of damage. And I seem to be failing at just trying to launch an enemy in the air there. Which again is just useful to do to separate them and do some one-on-one damage. Well, I apologise for that bit of a glitch there. So with all these guys up the way, we can carry on moving forward. And if we break down this very blatant wall, we can go and pick up another couple of crates. And I think that's another breakable wall. I'm actually not sure if I actually break it. Oh, thank God I do. But it's just a man hiding behind there. But because he's only one man, we can just tackle him to the ground and decapitate him. You see, I'm really fighting to get all of the red orbs I can. But oh, Theros Bane is fully upgraded now, which means the recovery time is much quicker, and it does even more damage, which is fantastic and what we need. Well, I don't think it's really what we need, but it's very useful. And once the Arms of Sparta is fully upgraded, then we'll be good to go then. Because on my playthrough I was finishing this morning, I did find that the Arms of Sparta are incredibly overpowered. The damage they do is just insane. On some of the enemies I found difficult, they were just a hell of a lot easier. On this part here we've got we're timed with this, and the timing is very tight. So if you can't swim over there quick enough and into the middle quick enough, you'll probably end up having the gates closed. But as you can see, they very nearly don't make it, but I do, which was quite lucky. So I think we are nearly done with this 10 minutes of water section. So we can get back to some proper fighting and whatnot. So we've got a big cog lift here, so once we've activated that, we'll have a number of enemies we can beat up. Ideally I should have been throwing my spears here rather than trying to reflect and be cool, which doesn't really go to plan, as you can see there. This is probably the perfect place to use the Arms of Sparta because of their range as well. On this small platform, they can just hit in a very wide angle. So with all these men nearly taken care of, and we're nearly at the top of the lift, we've still got more people throwing stuff at us as well. But I think it's quite unfortunate we can't kick enemies off. I suppose that'd be something different, but I suppose it'd make it too easy, but soon enough the archers, the projectile throwers will be down. Now we can finally cross this bridge now. So if we head up here, we can get a nice, really nice view, and our aim is to get to the door on the other side, which is what we're doing for the rest of the video. But it doesn't mean it's going to be easy, because there'll be loads of people to beat up, and the odd push-in puzzle as well.
It is not too late to turn back, Kratos. No good will come of this journey. The gods...
I am done with the gods! Return to Olympus and leave me be.
Your brother was a threat to Olympus, Kratos. What was done had to be done. Forgive me. Forgive me.
You were there. Why? Why did you help him?
I was there for you, Kratos. You had to be saved.
You should have saved him. I should have saved him.
There is more to this than we could possibly know, Kratos.
Lies and riddles. That's all you give me, Athena. I will save my brother, and you will stay out of my way.
So Athena lied to Kratos again, which isn't really a big surprise. She's been nothing but trouble. Although she has given him advice constantly to stop interfering with things and whatnot, which actually is pretty good advice, because if Kratos would just stop for a second, he might stop wrecking the entire of the world. But back to fighting these Atlantean soldiers. With our lovely, powerful Arms of Sparta. And the Scourge of Erinyes is just as useful for damaging everything. Unfortunately, there's something I don't show off with the Scourge, because you can, if you cast it 3 times in a row, you get it basically like a planet-sized thing, and it just destroys everything in its way. But you've got to break all 3 of these bases here. And then you can just push it forward. Opening up a new path. Then we got another area we could possibly die, but nope, I'll make it. We got a very small arena here. It's actually a fun fight, I find. Because the area is so small, this horn is actually somewhat useful. And the Gorgons are really good at just freezing everything. And it's pretty useful. Because, especially if you take one of the heads off, it just freezes the entire area, which is really great. But, I mean, like I say, I do enjoy fighting the Gorgons. So if we take her face off now, it'll allow us to just freeze everything. First, I think you're better off killing the soldiers rather than the Gorgons if you can. And that's the last one out of the way. So with that, with those gone there, that'll be the last thing of the video, so I'll see you guys next time with a hopefully more interesting video. See ya.